Hi, guys.
It still sucks.
Bye, guys.
Is it the best of the three? Probably. This is still a piece of shit. Like, goddamn. You know what? At least the other two were more uniquely bad than this.
You mean, in the essence, that every other word out of their mouths was Smurf in the other two?
That's true. They toned down on the S word in this movie. I guess it did do that. Man.
This one is a kid's movie.
Oh, God.
Like, the other two, they were trying some weird hybrid thing where they were trying to cash in on the nostalgia while still bringing in kids.
Uh-huh.
It didn't work. I mean, as a kid, I could see a kid enjoying this film.
Me too, because it's loud and colorful. Yeah. And
shit, is it fucking loud?
The other two were a bit more lowbrow, and that's given the fact that this movie also has a scene where Gargamel is getting bit in the ass by a fish, and he looks at the fish and says, "You bottom feeder." Like,
yeah.
There were more shit jokes and fart jokes in the other two, and there's really not that here. But when I say at least the other two were more uniquely bad than this film, I'll still never forget that joke from Smurfs 2 where they were trying to free those ducks from being cooked at the restaurant, and one said to the other one, "What are you, Martin Luther Wing?" This movie made me feel bad about being just only lukewarm towards Trolls. Because Trolls is fucking Wall-E compared to Smurfs The Lost Village. They're both fairly similar in a way, honestly. They both seem like they could kind of take place in the same universe. Honestly, I don't know why this is a fucking reboot. Why does this need to be a reboot? Like, other than it's... Okay,
because the last two killed Jonathan Winters.
That's true.
That's why it's a fucking reboot.
Oh, so they're gonna kill...
And I swear to God, if you kill Mandy Patinkin, you fucking movie, I'm coming for you, Sony. I'm gonna take you down. You and your fucking Smurfs. Don't you take Mandy. Don't you take my amigo.
Oh, he's survived for some seasons of Homeland. He can survive this.
Right.
Man, the movie... This movie, more so than the other two, certainly does feel like a 90-minute episode of the show. The problem is it feels like a 90-minute episode of the show. The show doesn't need... An episode of the show does not need to be fucking 90 minutes long. That's ridiculous. Like...
At least the show was, in my opinion, was better.
Certainly, like, because, I mean, the show is the show. I mean, it serves its purpose at being 20 minutes, and we got 20 minutes to tell this story. We're in and out, and we're done.
Right.
And that's kind of what this is. This movie has a plot that wouldn't be unlike anything you'd see on the show, only it's 90 fucking minutes long. Oh, man. I don't know, like, honestly, there was even more to say about the other movies, to tell you the truth. This one...
Well, because the other two were so incredibly shitty.
Uh-huh.
That the outrage just poured out.
Yeah.
This is just...
I was pretty...
Nah.
I was pretty annoyed in this. I thought this movie was a pile of shit, honestly. I was sitting there fairly annoyed because this movie is that kind of kids movie. Like, it's the loud kind, the very bright and colorful. We want none of the toddlers in the audience to be falling asleep whatsoever. There's nothing ambitious here. There's nothing life-changing about the plot that's going on. This movie isn't, it's not a deep film, nor is it trying to be. But my God, is this movie fucking loud. This movie doesn't go 2 minutes without screaming, without some big colorful flash at the screen, or some
thumping bass beat.
Song that once upon a time would play on Top 40.
They as soon as Blue came on, I was like, oh my God, really? No, don't bring Eiffel 65 back. No, they had their moment. It's gone now.
It's the kind of film that if parents take their kids to see this, sure, the kids will probably get something out of it because, again, it's bright and it's colorful. But it's that kind of kids movie where the parents are going to be sitting there wanting to put a fucking steak knife through their ear.
Yeah.
God, like, if I didn't have a headache beforehand, I did after. At least Trolls. Like, again, a movie that seems like it kind of takes place in the same universe. It still has some of the same trippy shit in it in terms of the flowers and the weird shit in nature. But Trolls at least, like, did have some heart to it.
Well, anymore it seems like animated films fall into two categories. Now they're trying to make it to where everyone can enjoy it, or they're just like, you know what, this is a movie to go take your kids to be distracted.
And that's this kind of movie.
That's this kind of movie.
I
wish they'd stop doing that, because when they try and market it to both and play it well, it works really well. There's a lot of animated films out there that adults enjoy as much as the kids. And why they don't do that, why they don't get rid of the 90-minute just loud obnoxious, I don't know. Because you still want, I guess the kids scream enough for the parents to take them, but why wouldn't you just want the parents to enjoy it too? At least that way, you know.
Dude, this is like we saw this on Friday, opening night at 7:30, and we were two of only like 5 people in there. There were more people at the Personal Shopper screening last night, a movie that none of us got trailers for, and that was the last night Personal Shopper was showing before it left theaters. That was more crowded than sitting here on opening night for Smurfs The Lost Village. I keep wanting to say Smurfs 3.
That's what it is. It's fucking Smurfs 3.
The only reason why I'm sitting there like, I don't know why this is a reboot, because they all look the same. It's different voices, yeah, but they don't. That Jillian Smurf from Smurfs 2 isn't in this, nor is she ever mentioned in this, so that's kind of the one thing where it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know if this is taking place in the same continuity of the other. Right. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like, going from because I didn't think this movie looked that bad from the trailer, and I thought Boss Baby looked like shit, and I enjoyed Boss Baby. I thought this looked alright. I hated this fucking movie, so I don't know what's going on with the world nowadays. So, at first glance, it seems like, okay, maybe this is the Smurfs movie that they should have gotten a few years ago, or when the first one came out, but yeah, no, not really, because still very little of it takes place in Smurfs Village. Honestly, if you break it down, the structure's not that dissimilar from the other two movies. It's still about 4 of them leave Smurf Village, get lost, find another world that they haven't been to, so it's another kind of fish out of water type thing, and Gargamel is after them again because he wants to harvest the Smurf power, so by the end of the movie he can turn into Doctor Strange. That happens.
Yeah, it does. You know, this is the movie that we should have got at first. You know why? Because then I wouldn't have to sit through 3 of these fucking things. 3.
Well, no. The other two would have come after. It just would have been in a different order.
This is gonna kill it. This is going to kill the franchise, and good.
I mean,
let it die. Bury it 20 feet under. Salt the grave over, and don't ever fucking come back to it.
What was? Do you remember what the crowd was like at the other two? I wasn't there at the first one, but I was there at the second one.
Well, it was mostly adults, is what it was for both of them, and I mean, it was bigger.
Yeah.
I think, it was definitely bigger.
Which is, again, that's saying something, too, because for the first one, that was at midnight. That was back when these reviews actually, that was back when the pre-screenings actually did start at midnight.
This was pre-movie theater shootings, that was...
Yeah. Let's start doing that at 7.
Yeah, it's like, let's do this when we can actually respond well.
God.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, there was nobody in there, man. But again, I don't know. It could do well.
It's probably going to make $200 million, and we're going to be sitting here 3 years going, Smurf 4, money grab. That's what it'll be subtitled, because they're like, clearly you guys just watch this random shit. I mean,
it is for a kids movie like this that is just there to for a wide-eyed kid audience to drag their ADD eyes all over the screen. For that kind of kids movie, I mean, I'll say it's significantly better animated than something like Norm of the North or The Wildlife or like Turbo and that kind. Those kind of.
I'm pretty sure it's the same animation team for the first two.
Sony Animation.
Yeah, I think they brought back that because, like you said,
they look the same.
The designs are really no different.
Yeah.
I don't think they even changed really anything.
Other than the voices.
Other than the voice acting was changed. I think everything else, they're like, it's fine.
The voices were changed not for the better, honestly. Like, for instance, it's Rainn Wilson as Gargamel.
Right.
And I like Rainn Wilson, but he just sounds like Rainn Wilson. He's not trying to do...
I don't think he can do anything other than Rainn Wilson, is the problem. I think that's just his... He's got Office. He's Dwight. That's it.
He's also got House of a Thousand Corpses. Gargamel. They turn him into a fish man.
That he has all of 6 lines in the movie before he gets turned into a fucking mermaid.
But he's not. Say what you will about the other two movies, Hank Azaria really was doing a Gargamel in that.
He's a character. Hey, Hank Azaria was a good choice because he's a character actor. And he's been doing it for years now, so it's easy for him just to chameleon into a different role.
And I don't know why they didn't get him back for this. I don't know why they didn't get some of the other voices back. There are some that Jack McBrayer whatever few laughs I got a few laughs out of him. He plays clumsy Smurf.
But like I say, he wasn't clumsy in the other ones.
No. Jake Johnson has one scene as Grumpy Smurf, which made me wish they used him more because I love Jake Johnson. So you have him in there as Grumpy Smurf, which is
that
good
probably
casting.
would have been a fun dynamic having him as one of the people that got lost, but no.
Yeah, especially with him doing the voice, that would have been a lot of fun. But of course the 4 that get lost are 4 Smurfs where you can tell the difference between them just by looking at them. So the 4 of them that get lost, Smurfette, of course, Brainy Smurf because he's got glasses, Hefty Smurf because he's got a tattoo, Clumsy Smurf looks like any other ordinary Smurf, but he's with 3 other people who look different than him.
Yeah, that's true.
And they do... The whole movie is about... Honestly, some of the plot of this movie isn't terrible. I can see how it would work in a much better written movie. It's about how all of the Smurfs, they each have their own personalities, and there's kind of a funny montage at the beginning of the movie, especially when it's showing Nosy Smurf and Paranoid Smurf, and it gets into all the Smurfs and their names, but then it's talking about Smurfette, and Smurfette only knows herself as Smurfette. She doesn't really know no one, and she doesn't really know much else about herself other than just that she's Smurfette.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the movie's about. It's about her trying to sort of find her place in society. That's not a bad plot. That's not a bad starting point for the movie. But where it goes is, you've seen it done better in Trolls, and even Trolls was done better in other movies. It's about four Smurfs that end up getting lost, and again, like the other two movies, and okay, yeah, it did it slightly better than that. There's no one eats a blue M&M and says, I just ate Smurf poo. Oh, did I remind you of that one?
Fucking remind me of that. Awful. Oh, gee, god damn it.
And then they happen upon another Smurf village, the Lost Village in the title. And that's where all the female Smurfs are. I'm actually surprised there wasn't like how Smurfette is with the other Smurf village,
like
that there
one
wasn't
random male.
Yeah, like I was expecting it to go, or at least in my head, not that I literally thought this would happen, but I was expecting it to go like full Wicker Man. Like, I'm surprised they didn't get Ellen Burstyn to be like Smurf Willow, the leader of the female Smurf tribe. Like, right, they're just not the bees! Not the bees!
And not
killing us won't give us your Smurfing honey! You Smurfing bitches!
And of course we're talking about the bad Wicker Man as opposed to the.
Well, because it's an all-female community, and that wasn't the case in the other Wicker Man. The male Smurf and the female village would just be like those guys like in the bar in the Neil Butte Wicker Man. Just like beer and just disheveled and
or just
wants to
harvest
die.
him for the sperm.
What if it got really dark and turned into like a boy and his dog?
Oh my god.
Oh, Hefty, you think you're strong now? Well, they pump a couple gallons of semen out of you.
God. Well, the thing is, okay, so it's kids movie.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious kids movie. And then when Gargamel crashes into the village, that would fucking terrify children. It gets fucking dark in a hurry.
If that, I mean,
for us, I'm just sitting there going, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a tone shift.
I didn't think that so much while watching it. Probably because my mind was drifting kind of in and out a little bit.
He's like kicking down the.
He is, but it's not like.
I mean, for us, it's goofy.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there trying to think. I'm like, if I was like a 5-year-old. This might actually scare whoa, what the fuck? It's all bright, and then all of a sudden it gets dark. And
we grew up with kids' movies in the 80s. I don't know if us as 5-year-olds would have been scared by this.
Today's kids, though. I'm trying to put myself in today's kids.
Like you're 5 years old today.
Like if I was 5 years old today, and I didn't see a pair of tits when I was 4.
Back when we got that in PG movies.
Hell yeah, baby. I mean, I watched fucking Garbage Pail Kids when I was 6. So I mean, this kind of, I was just like, okay, whatever. But
man, if a kid goes to this and is like about to shit their pants, it's like, show them the Bluebird of Happiness scene from Follow That Bird. They'll hang themselves. Or the scene where
God.
We'll talk about tonal shift. So show a 5-year-old today the scene of Johnny 5 getting destroyed in Short Circuit 2.
Oh my god. Fuck. No, Johnny 5.
Like that crazy shit from the last act of Little Monsters.
Oh yeah.
How fucking weird that got.
Yeah, I forgot how fucking kind of dark that got.
Ben Savage on that fucking strapped him to that fucking board. They're throwing hatchets at him and shit. Damn. Guy's standing there with his leg chopped off. I liked that movie as a kid. No clue how it holds up.
That's like no. It's one of Shy's favorite movies. So
is it really?
We watched. Not too long ago we watched it. And I'm like, this is a nostalgia movie because it
totally.
I just no. I just can't. No, it's not as. It's not as good as when you're a kid, but
Does the one sequence still hold up where they prank all of those
it's still
like
pretty
cat
fun.
food in
Yeah.
his sandwich and they piss in his apple juice and shit?
And he just drinks. He's like, what the fuck is this piss?
Piss in my apple juice.
Yeah, that
My
wasn't
name's
too
Maurice,
bad.
and I'll catch you later. I'm sure it's still a classic. God.
Oh man.
When this movie, the funniest part of this movie to me
my God, here we go.
was when it tries getting super serious at the end of this, because, okay, if you know anything about Smurf lore, yeah, Gargamel created Smurfette out of clay. So at the end, when Gargamel turns into Doctor Strange, and Smurfette then uses his power against him, I was having some trouble following the logistics of this, but what it comes down to is she defeats Gargamel, but she's reduced to just being a mound of clay at the end.
Yeah.
So the Smurfs are like, "Wow, thanks, Smurfette! Oh no!" And his pants over. It's just this mound of clay sitting there.
A little tiny bump for a nose.
Yeah, like a bump for a nose sitting there. Like one of them just took a crap. And so...
It did look like a pile of Smurf shit.
Yeah. So Papa Smurf is like, she's back to being what she once was. Like he's trying to earn an Oscar for that line. Okay. And it gets ridiculous because he goes to Gargamel's, like, spell book, and he flips, it's a big book, he flips through just a few pages, like, there's gotta be something in here, some kind of spell to reverse this. And then Brainy, I think, comes up to him and says, "No, Papa, no spell is gonna bring her back." And I'm sitting there like, well, you could try. Like, at least get a few more pages into the book before you give up.
Gargamel found a way, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're in his lair.
He's not coming back. He's gonna be getting fish off his ass for the next couple of weeks, I guess. So
They did miss a great opportunity, though, to have Mandy Patinkin look at Gargamel and go, "My name is Papa Smurf. You killed my Smurfette. Prepare to die."
I didn't even realize that was Mandy Patinkin until the ending credits. So if that happened during the movie, I'd have been like, that was a random reference.
And then later it'd have been like, oh, okay.
It gets really graphic. He becomes his character from Criminal Minds.
There was another movie. Oh, which one? I missed it. I
Was
forget
there?
what it was. It was, and I'm just like, that's random.
Fuck.
God damn it.
I can't remember. I mean, the movie didn't kind of like...
Yeah, clearly,
Well, I mean, kind of like what we were saying earlier about how it doesn't do so much the, like, scatological humor of the other two, which... It feels like it shouldn't have taken 3 movies for them to figure that out. Maybe not so much the shit jokes in Smurf movies, but kind of like how this doesn't have so much of that from the other 2 movies. I didn't notice a lot of just references for the sake of references.
I think it was literally just the one, and I'm trying. It completely. It was underwhelming. So I'm just like, I can't remember. At the time, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But
yeah, God,
shit.
I can't remember either. I mean, I heard it. There were a couple of times where you and I groaned. I remember bottom feeders was one of them. You bottom feeders? Okay, all right. It's no Martin Luther wing. But then, like, they're carrying the mound of clay that was once Smurfette through the forest, and it's like fucking Life Day from the Star Wars Holiday Special. They're holding up these, like, little flasks that are like their flashlights because they have fireflies inside of them. So they're lighting the forest by the same technology that Noah used in Bible adventures. So they're holding those up and going through there, and it's supposed to be this hugely dramatic moment. They're standing all arm in arm with, again, just what looks like the blue bird of happiness took a big old shit in the middle of the woods. And then through the power of magic, she comes back to life at the end of it. I was like, are they just gonna burst out into true colors from Trolls again? I've seen this movie before.
I'd have given them balls for just to end the movie. And just have like a placard be like, here lies Smurfette, her sacrifice will not be in vain, and be like, okay.
Oh, like it's the end of Logan. Like just an S, like an S tombstone.
God damn it! Spoilers if you haven't seen Logan, by the way. Sorry.
It's been out for like a month.
I know. If you should have seen it because it was fucking awesome. Yeah, don't go see this. Go see Logan instead.
Right. You go see this. You haven't seen Logan yet? What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, I take it you probably have kids if that's the case. But you know
Take
what?
your kids to see Logan.
Yeah, exactly.
Take your kids to see Logan.
That's what our parents would have done
Right?
back when we were kids.
I saw Terminator 2 in the theaters. Fuck it, go see
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't see it in theaters, my mom rented me that shit.
Damn right. And we turned out just fine.
We turned out great. I liked,
Shit.
if there's anything positive I can say about this, again, the animation is fine. Smurfette is likable. She's a likable lead. Like, you don't want to see anything bad happen to this character. I did like that ladybug. That was, it was interesting how that worked.
Basically the camera, and it's got the memory, and then it flapped its wings to recreate vocal, like it was a recorder. Think of like a tricorder from Star Trek. It just kind of recorded everything, but
Yeah, it was cute. It was put there. It was put there to be cute, and it was.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was not obnoxious at all. Everything else in the fucking movie was.
Yeah, it was very low key in comparison to everything else. So it was...
and compared to all of the screaming and flying around, and just
slow motion too.
Oh well, it's in
Why the
3D.
fuck?
Oh, the 3D was fine.
Yeah, 3D was there. Yeah, it's an animated movie. Usually 9 times out of 10, the 3D tends to pop in those, and especially the bright, colorful ones.
And we were seeing it on the smaller screen in there too. Again, opening weekend. It's like an opening night for this shit. They put it in like the smaller theater right across from the screen that's showing Chips.
And it's not like there's anything it's opening opposite that's like huge that would demand the big theaters.
Yeah, it's this. The stuff coming out this weekend, like this, going in style, and Case for Christ, but that's not at this theater.
Good luck with that one, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I'm saving my popcorn for that movie. This one,
throw it at the screen.
Yeah.
That's not how it works at all.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I'm so upset at this movie. It might not be the worst movie I've seen all weekend.
Oh, shit.
Who knows? I don't know. I saw Going in Style a couple of weeks ago at an advanced screening, and it was fine. It's better than this. I mean, if you're this invested in the Smurfs movies, this will probably be your favorite of them. I don't know. I mean, what else is there to say about this fucking movie, man?
That this franchise needs to be done. It just, no more. Just stop. You can't. You're gonna try and tell the same story a 4th time. Just stop. Just stop.
You can tell that I think they went into this one thinking this will be the one. You know, like, as much as this is for no one over the age of 5, as much as this is for just really, really, really little kids, I think that the people who made this probably were trying a little harder than the other 2 movies. I think they probably thought this would be the one that would be the Ouija 2 of Smurf movies.
Wow.
Well, that other one was shit, but that Ouija 2 was awesome. Yeah, show your kids Ouija 2 instead. Yes. That movie.
Or what is it? Go see that Shia LaBeouf movie. The one that only had one. Well.
Oh, I heard about that. Man Down
sold one ticket in the
what
UK.
What the fuck?
How?
Well, that's
it's
something when Zizek's Road like doubles your profit. I heard about that. Like Man Down.
Yeah, if nothing else, go see it because it's Shia LaBeouf and you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do next.
Yeah.
He's become one of the most interesting individuals today. Just because he's batshit crazy, and whether or not it's an act, it's interesting to sit there and watch.
Dave and I talked a little bit about that last night, or not Dave, sorry. Brian and I talked a little bit about that last night at Personal Shopper, in the sense that it is always interesting when you have an actor like that, or in Personal Shopper's case, Kristen Stewart, where they get out of a franchise and they really want to stretch quite a bit.
Kristen Stewart can act.
Oh, she's great.
She can act. And she just had the misfortune of being in a series of movies where she had no dimensions in a character. There was nothing she could do to make that character more interesting.
I've loved her in most things that I've seen her in. I mean, what you said about Twilight's absolutely correct.
Like if you watch like On the Road or something like that.
Adventureland.
Adventureland. She's more dynamic than those movies let her be. Yeah.
And in Shia LaBeouf's case, I like Kristen Stewart way better than I like Shia LaBeouf, but again, with actors like that really want to get away from, like, in his case, Transformers, it's rather unpredictable what kind of movie he's gonna do next.
Like, I had fun watching, like, Disturbia. Like, I mean, even it being a Rear Window clone, I'm still like, it kept my attention, and he's a good lead, it's just...
I've seen him in things where I've liked him just fine.
Ah, shit.
I've seen him in plenty of stuff where he's annoyed the shit out of me, but I've seen... Right. No, I've seen that Robert Downey Jr. one, what was it? Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. He was good in that.
Okay, yeah.
I think that movie's like 10 plus years old.
I mean, when he was younger, when he was in Holes, I thought Holes was a pretty entertaining movie. It was... But...
This is what we need now. Smurfs 4... Kristen Stewart and Shia LaBeouf. Rated R.
There's another. Yeah, when the fucking Brandy talks about killing the bird. Like, that guy, I was
let's
just like...
kill the bird.
Let's kill the... But he didn't do it like that. He's like, we're going to kill the bird. And they're like,
what?
Wait, what? Okay, fine, we'll just knock it out. It's like...
We'll just give it more brain damage.
Where the fuck did that come from? And just, like, that little shit, it's just like... There's a very... Yeah, there's some tone shifts in there. I'm just like, maybe that wasn't the best idea. And I'm pretty sure, like, maybe you don't put that in a kid's movie. When you're specific, like this movie... When your target is, like, a 5-year-old. Is little kids. Probably don't do killing jokes in there. It's just...
Yeah, don't show the movie The Killing Joke in the middle of your...
Don't show the movie The Killing Joke at all.
Right.
Go read the comic. Don't show that shit ever again.
I didn't so much have a problem with that. I mean, 5 minutes into this movie, I just really kind of wanted it to end, and it wouldn't for like 85 more minutes.
And like I say, it wasn't like it was a long runtime either.
No, because I think we got 90 probably minutes.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it is so loud and obnoxious that you feel every fucking minute of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, not to the point of, like, fucking Ratchet and Clank. Like, at least this looked like a theatrical film.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At least for a couple minutes, I was kind of invested.
We're gonna piss off the fanboys again.
For Ratchet.
Fuck off, Ratchet! We love Ratchet and Clank. Well,
did we get yelled at for that? For Ratchet and Clank?
There were some people be like, you just don't understand the game. It's like, no.
Or you just don't understand movies.
I played those games. I did after the fact. I liked those games. That movie was still a piece of fucking shit. There was nothing saving that movie.
Man, I forgot about that. Like, sticking up for the Ratchet and Clank movie.
Yeah, that's...
Man.
Yeah.
I saw so many... Was that last year? Man, I saw...
Was it last or the year before? I can't remember.
I think it was last. I saw so many bad movies that year that didn't even make... I don't even think that made my bottom 10. I don't know if this one will. I don't know. I really couldn't stand sitting through this, but I had a harder time sitting through this than the Smurfs porn I watched last week. Largely because, at least with the Smurfs porn... It was over and done with in a half an hour.
Ratchet and Clank was last year. Because I think it was... Was it early? Was it about a year ago then?
It was... I remember I had 2 movies that night, and that was the second movie I sat through that night, and holy shit. So I was already tired before that movie started.
Yeah, it was... I want to say it was probably about a year ago. Mm-hmm. Because I think it was around... I think it was April.
On the 1-year anniversary of Ratchet and Clank, we get another forgettable ass kids movie. Goddamn. This movie sucked. This movie sucked. And you know what?
April 29th, 2016. So
close.
It was...
I did want this to be good. I did. Like, Smurfs was a show that... I can't say that when it was on, I was obsessed with it by any means. I wasn't. I did watch it, but it was one of those shows that I watched because it was on.
Right.
Like,
it was never like that where you sat down every Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, I have to watch the new episode of this. It was just more like, Smurfs is on, okay.
Yeah, it was like that kind of show for me.
Then there were so many, like, the clones. Snorks. Like, there was just so many of those. It was just kind of, it all blended together after a while because it was all the same thing. It was just change the setting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it was. I didn't have its time slot memorized or anything like that. Like, if Smurfs was on, it was because it was on, and maybe I was watching it with somebody who was really into it. Although I don't even remember that necessarily. Like, hell, I think most of the kids. Over at my grandma's where we all hung out when I was younger, I think most of them were more into the Get Along gang.
Wow.
Remember that?
Jesus.
It's like the Boxcar Children, but with animals.
I think I would turn Smurfs on like when my mom was around, so it actually made it look like I was watching some wholesome programming before I actually watched the weird, demented shit that I actually did.
The best thing that came out of the Smurfs was, remember that, like, anti-war ad from... do you remember that?
I think so.
Where it was the same company that did the animated series, and like it was some anti-war or anti-weapons or nuclear weapons ad. Like look this up. It's haunting. Like, it's like Smurf Village is attacked by like fucking missiles, and like baby Smurf is laying there like. It's the most haunting shit you'll fucking see.
Holy shit.
Like, people in the fucking comments of that Smurfs porn that I reviewed last week, they're like, this is destroying my childhood. Oh no! Watch Smurf Village get fucking missile bombed.
Come to the face ain't nothing like a missile right to Smurf Village. You thought that was a money shot. Wait until you see this.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That baby Smurf, I didn't see him anywhere in the...
No. Yeah, I think there's...
Although, does the concept of baby Smurf make that much sense?
No. Not when you have a bunch of little... admittedly asexual blue creatures running around. Yeah, no. Yeah. Maybe it was
one Smurf
butted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although now that they introduced all the female Smurfs, maybe it,
Orgy. Fucking orgy.
Smurfs 4, and they're all pregnant.
Oh my god. They're mysteriously pregnant, like,
and then
Village of the Damned.
And they all produce males and then just die.
Mm-hmm. God. There's so many areas where this movie could go. We're coming up with way more original material than the shit in this movie. Any final thoughts about this? I think I'm smurfed out at this point.
I don't want to go see another Smurfs movie. I don't. Please end this.
Uh-huh.
I have seen 3. Admittedly, this one is above the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
That is nowhere near a glowing recommendation. That is just where they set the bar so fucking low that you could just step over it. You don't have to step over it. If you kicked it, if you toe kicked it, you'd be over the... I mean, just no. Please, if there is a spiritual being in the sky, do not make me sit through another one of these. just please stop. That is my desperate plea to you. I am done with this shit.
But Brian, it won't be a spell book that stops his Smurf movies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like, you know, what else, man? I mean, fine. I cannot recommend this. Even though it's what you just said. Even though this isn't quite as bad as the other 2, this sucks. Don't go see this shit. Like, this is okay if you need to put something on the TV to keep your kid occupied.
Find something else.
Yeah, for the love of God.
Else.
Like, it's like, I get it. You want something colorful and bright on the TV. So, you know what? There are better things you could fucking choose.
Put in Toy Story.
Yeah, like...
Fucking anything. Please, God. Put something good on. That's what we need to... Give your kids something good to watch. Don't feed your kids shit, because then this is what happens when we feed our kids shit. We get shit like this.
Like, don't use that as an excuse of, like, well, it's bright and colorful, so I can just put anything on the TV. Like, just... There are good things that are also bright and colorful. Pick something else.
Just Toy Story.
Jesus,
just
yeah.
Toy Story. Just put Toy Story. Toy Story
exactly.
2. Any one of the Toy Stories. Any one of them. Just do it.
Any fucking one of them.
All 3. And you know what? That's a whole 5-hour block right there. You don't even have to worry about your kids because they're going to be
exactly. You can go take a nap.
Yeah. Put a little bourbon in their milk.
Yeah. A little NyQuil on their pacifier.
Out like a light.
Oh, yeah. All right, well...
And this is why we don't have children.
Sure, yeah. We killed all of them.
Oh, no.
Spoiler.
Wow.
See ya.